geeked out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? When I got locked up. And I was just like, man, dude, they're going to be bad when I get down there. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of, I've heard stories, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking to myself, man, I'm going to stick to myself. I'm going to ride it out. You know what I'm saying? Mind my own business, respect. Well, just basically the same way I am to everybody. But there's always that person that just tries you, you know what I'm saying? And that's anywhere you go. So, but I was nervous, man, super nervous. And like when I made it to Malvern, I let it wear off a little bit. I wasn't as nervous no more because I went through the diagnostic and stuff like that. But when we got them brown bags and they said I was going to Brickeys, I was like, gosh, dang, man, this is one of the worst penitentiaries in the state of Arkansas. That and Varner.
Yeah, Brickeys bad. I think Brickeys is probably worse than Varner at this point.
Yeah, at this point they say it is.
Yeah.
They got Friday night fights going on down there every weekend. You know
What's Friday night fights?
Friday night fights is, man, where they get your ID badge and they stick it on the table, and it's like 50, 60 guys in the barracks, and they grab all these ID badges and they stick them on the table and they just shuffle them. And they pull two and them two fight. And they just keep on pulling, you know what I'm saying? Bored.
They just in there bored trying to pass time. Did your ID ever get pulled?
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
For real?
Yeah. And you got no choice. You got to fight. You know what I'm saying?
They going to stomp you.
Stomp you out. And if it's the biggest dude in the barracks or the smallest dude in the barracks, you're fighting.
Yeah. See, when I left, when I was doing time, they weren't doing that. You know what I mean? Like, time was easier. It was different. They kill you. Yeah. You know what I mean? They would assume do something real serious to you. They're not going to do no arguing with you. No, back then it was different. You know what I mean? And you might get a year or two tacked onto your time, but you were only doing 2 months on a year, and you could come home. And there weren't any real what you're describing is kind of like a very barbaric prison setting.
Pretty wild. Hey, there was people in there mad because the other guy wouldn't sell his stuff, like his deuce, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean his deuce?
Chemicals. It's K2, man. It's sprayed.
Spice.
Yeah, spice sprayed on paper, and they send it through on legal mail. And that's how they get it in there. And they selling like little strips like that big, not even very big at all, $5 a stick. That stick will
spin your noggin,
man. But
what's it do to you?
It's like an out-of-body experience, you know. It
smoking the paper?
Yeah, smoking the paper. It'll tear you up. And I got lost in that for a while. I was smoking deuce every day, man.
So you're in prison still using drugs?
Yes. Yeah.
You couldn't get clean there either?
Couldn't get clean there either.
So can you tell me some stories about deuce, about the K2?
Yeah, I can tell you a few stories, man. I seen one guy, man, one of my buddies, he's always at the door talking about, if I ain't flopping, I ain't shopping. I was like, yeah. I was like, dang. Well, one day.
What's that mean? If I'm not flopping, I'm not.
He wants to be on the floor throwing up, swimming in it. Otherwise, if it ain't no good, he ain't buying it. Is what he's saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much saying, if I ain't almost dead, I don't want it. You know. Well, anyways, he gets his stuff one day, and he's sitting up there, and he puts some toothsticks in there and fires it up. Hits that dude a couple times. Next thing I know, man, he's face first on the floor, trying to get up, swimming in his throw up. And he's just throwing up everywhere. I was like, gosh, dang, it's wild, man. I didn't even want to hit that stick after that. I'm straight, you know.
You don't want that.
I don't want that. That's that drop dead Fred. I'm good.